Yo, what up, everybody? Welcome to the Enough Said podcast. We are in season 5. Believe it or not, guys, week number 2. We apologize, everyone, for hanging in there with us this morning. There were some internet outages in the area, so we had to make sure we got them all taken care of. Now that that's all good, Jermaine's
You didn't pay
actually
the
in the
bill.
area.
You didn't pay the bill. All
Yeah.
three of y'all didn't pay the bill.
We
That's
gotta
why
talk to
y'all.
Andre.
Hey,
about
my
that.
internet was fine.
Y'all pulled out your credit card to pay the bill. Now all of a sudden, miraculously, all of y'all are on. Hey,
I got
hey,
files.
I didn't have a
problem.
problem. I didn't have a problem.
Man, Mike, get rid of that background, please, before I throw up. All right.
You know what? Oh, I got you.
All right, let's get it on. Let's introduce everybody. Welcome to the show. As always, if you haven't joined us before, we are a podcast talking about football from a fan's perspective, basically. And we have every week at 11 o'clock. You can follow us, obviously, on Enough Said, on Twitter, whatever, X, whatever you want to call it. And it's also online. And you can email us at enoughsaidcrew@gmail.com as well. So we welcome everybody this morning, including Hef. Welcome aboard. All right, we are ready to go. Let's introduce the crew. The first one, he's sitting outside. He's actually in the area for once. The man set us up and gave us the shaft. Yeah, Jermaine, I'm talking about that 15-second draft. What the hell, dude? That draft was done in 10 minutes, man.
That
Come
was
on.
hilarious.
That was. I looked up. It's 8:12. Yeah, that's got to be the quickest draft. You know what I mean?
Holy
So next year
crap.
we'll do 10.
Oh, dude, I didn't even know literally who I was picking. I was just like, all right, whatever. I'm just like hitting a button. I didn't even know what the hell I was doing.
That was good
I had no
times. That was
plan.
fun.
I was just like, do I take a quarterback? Do I take a receiver? Who do I take? I just
Yeah, it was me and Jermaine's mastermind. I said, Jermaine, let's look at the timing.
His voice,
So you know what?
Jermaine said, yeah, do it.
Yeah, I said, do it.
Do it.
Because throw a monkey wrench in there because this is a
Yeah, I
fun
know, right?
bragging right. So let's just mix it all up. See,
Yeah.
it was funny.
KD was like, wait a minute, this is 15 seconds. He said, by the time I got on, it was giving you the warning, the warning signal. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? You gotta pick.
Yeah, you're right, Hef.
Yeah.
Jermaine does look like he's outside getting in touch with his universe here. Yeah, check that
Yes.
out, man. So it is gorgeous here in Philadelphia right now. We're
It
talking
is.
like 70 degrees, and it's
It
just
is.
beautiful.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
So-
Not a cloud in the sky. It's beautiful. Yep.
Yeah. All right, this second guy, yeah, he's got that stupid helmet in the background. On the show, when he talks about the 49ers, we all mock. Because of it, he might just trade shows and go to his favorite network, Peacock. So Mike has some issues with Peacock. He was going off this week. Tell us, what do you got your issues with Peacock, Mike?
no, I just don't like the idea that there's another streaming service that you got to use to watch NFL games. And
I
just
agree.
think it's, I think it's ridiculous. Especially when
agree.
it's like, Peacock is a known service, but it's not like Amazon where everyone has access to Amazon. I just don't like it.
Yeah.
I mean, the game itself was all right. I mean, I thought there weren't going to be commercials, but it was like watching regular TV because there was tons of commercials, at least the version that I was watching. I mean, the stream was all right, but it just, put it on regular TV, man. Come on. I mean, we're not totally disconnected from the box, I'll say.
Yeah. Well, it's funny when I got this laptop, I get 3 free months of Apple TV, and I think that includes Peacock, but I got to check. But yeah, like you said, man, why? I mean, we're paying for so much stuff. Like, give us a break,
I mean,
Yeah.
it's
Come on.
amazing. It's amazing that the game wasn't even locally televised. You know what I mean? Even the Philly fans, you needed, Philly fans that are in the Jersey, Philadelphia area, you still needed the damn app. I said that's crazy.
Yeah,
Wow, I didn't know that. I thought they were going to
opened
put
up.
it on.
No, they opened up the stadium for everybody whoever I don't get the tickets or whatever, but the stadium was totally filled Friday night. And they watched it on the teleprompter.
Yeah, that's nuts. I didn't know it didn't come on regular TV up there.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, that's the thing. Because
No,
that's what we was
terrible.
looking at. Yeah. You don't
That
have
is
Peacock.
terrible.
If you don't have Peacock, you're screwed. That's it.
And one of the other thing
Yeah.
I don't like about it is just like when you're watching it, there is replay for Peacock, but when it's a live thing like that, they they wait for a while to reset. So I had to start watching it from the second half. I mean from the end of the first half, the second. I have rewinded it, but it won't let me go all the way back to the first quarter. I was like, darn it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what the most interesting stuff was happening, Trey, the first quarter.
Yeah.
I saw the second quarter.
I'm sure we will get to that shortly.
Yeah, I was out with my friends and I saw some of that and I was like, that's another story. We went to media, watch the game, but all right, this last guy on his fantasy team, he has Jamar Chase, but if he doesn't play today, Dre, you're not going no place. Come on, man. He might not play. He's like 50-50.
Yeah, man. We'll see how it goes. I mean,
keep an eye on him. Yeah.
I'm looking at it right now. I'm only up by like half a point on iBoogers. You know who that is.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see.
All I know is I had Reed on my bench and he got 39 points. So Hef's probably going to kick my ass today. Now.
Well, I put Rice. I put Rice in the slot and I had Mahomes. So
yeah,
that helped me out.
So
Sal, real quick, because I knew you was going to get us with the intros and everything. So I figured I'd get something for you. Help you get the season started right. So I found this for you.
All right.
If you could read
back it up a little bit.
Can't see it or read it.
What
does it
say? It says nail gel.
Oh, yes. Yes. I like it.
That's funny. That's a good one.
I love it. That's awesome.
That's a good one.
Oh, man. Hey, man, you know what? The Bears play today, so we'll see if he's wearing it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Jermaine, we got to talk about him. A first overall pick with nail gel. Come on, man. Nail polish.
There's nothing to talk about. We already talked about it. Let's just move on. I mean, that's just, really. He just might have a clear coat on. He might have a clear coat on today. So.
All right. Here we go. All right. So we had 2 games so far. We had the Ravens, and of course we had the Eagles. So let's talk about the Eagles. Let's get it out. Jermaine, happy with Jalen Hurts? All was good last year.
Yeah, you know what? I looked at the game again, last night, because we was in Atlantic City and everything. So I was looking at it again, and then I just happened to remember what was going on with the first game of last year. So I look at it, you have that old saying, is the glass half empty or half full, So I'm looking at it as far as it being half full. And the reason why I say that is that if you compare the 2 games from New England from last year to this year, I mean, you only punted once, and the mistakes that he had, I mean, throwing across his shoulder and whatnot. So I'm fine because it's game 1 and you didn't have no time as far as preseason and stuff is concerned, So I'm going to give Jalen, another pass, to see what happens because it's game 1. Get all the jittery and get all the nonsense and all the foolishness out and whatnot. They put up 30 points and we talked about this. 30 points, 30 points and they put up 34. I said there's no excuse. I mean, Saquon was the X factor. You know what I mean? If we ain't had Saquon, we'd have lost that. I think we'd have lost that game. You know what I mean? To be honest with you. But yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine, Sal. I'm fine. Now, he can't be doing this the whole season. You know what I mean? So I don't know what's yet to come, but I feel pretty good about this offense. Now the defense, we'll talk about the defense. That was crazy. You know what I mean? That was wild. So, but yeah, I feel pretty good. I'm okay for the first game with Jalen. That's all. So.
Yeah, and Katie, just stop, man. This whole thing I'm not doing this calling him Danny Dimes. Look, here's my thing about Hurts. All right. Here's the thing. This has been since last year. All last year, all I heard is give him the benefit of the doubt. It's early. It's only game 1. It's the next thing you know, we got 10 wins. And then all of a sudden, when you started playing the tougher teams, the rails fell off. All right. This is a progression. He is not progressing. This is not a 1 or 2 week thing. You can't tell me he's any better than he was 2 years ago. All right. He's not. He's not at all. Okay. Everybody has the bonehead games. Everybody throw picks. Everybody goes through slumps. I get that. I'm not saying that. Every quarterback does it, Mike. You're right. Every quarterback goes through it and they have their rough times. If you look at his overall progression, it's not there. He's still doing the same things. He's still holding on to the ball too long. He's still forcing the ball in. He's not calling audibles. He's overthrowing. You know, he's just, there's too many things. He's making rookie mistakes still, and I'm just not seeing that progression. And that's my problem. That's all I'm saying. I want to see progression. I don't care if you have a bad game. Everybody has that. Fine. Everybody has that. Whatever. But you got these weapons, and all I heard last year was, "Oh, they're going to be fine." I told you guys, you can't just turn on the switch, right? So, and I was right. At the end of the year, what happened? They fell apart. They couldn't even beat the Bucks. All right. So get off the rails. Stop making excuses for Hurts. And I want to see him put the damn big boy pants on, go out there and fulfill his contract. Now, if you want to crown him, but I'm not letting him off the hook.
It's no excuse. It's no excuses, man. Yeah, that's why I said he had an okay game. I mean, it's game one. And like I said, if you look at what happened between New England, Sal, and this game and all that stuff, and look at all the weapons, I'm like, look, you putting up 30 points. It's no excuse that this offense can put up 30 points a game. You know what I mean? And that's just what I'm doing, you know, and it don't necessarily have to be on Jalen Hurts. I mean, now you got all these weapons and everything. Now you got Saquon, the X factor. So that's why I said I'm not giving him a pass, you know. So I mean, it was an okay game, you know. I mean, you got another offensive coordinator and stuff. So yeah, I'm trying to see this thing. I think it's nothing but going up. I mean, compared to last year, you know what I mean? So
yeah, I piggybacked off the same thing, Jermaine. I looked at New England versus Philly, and believe it or not, we won by 5 last year too. So it's the same in the scoring. But however, Jalen Hurts did do more yardage from the opening of the game against Detroit. He did throw another 2 picks this past Friday than what he did there. But forget all, we can compare that. But overall, for me, when I was watching it, the coordinator Kellen and Fangio, and I think the defense, because I liked how the motors were going for both sides, offensive and defensively. Jordan looked like he was plugging the hole. You know, Carter was doing his thing, Sweat. But on the offensive side, Dallas Goedert was pretty big too, bailing out, you know, Jalen, which I saw. And of course, Saquon was doing his thing, but remember, DeAndre Swift didn't really carry the ball that much the first opening game against the Vikings. That was his first 100-yard rushing game. So overall, I think Philadelphia did good. I'm glad, you know, of course, we're glad they got the win. But to comment on you, Sal, Jalen still, you know, he's still figuring it out. It's still, I guess, early. We'll see when it gets, you know, at least 5 games into the season, then we can say he has actually regressed from 2 years ago, you know?
Well, I got a comment, but before I do, I just happened to look at my phone, and this is breaking news. Dak Prescott is now the highest paid player in the NFL history. $240 million 4-year contract.
Wow.
Man.
Jerry paid him.
Look, you don't want me to get
Jerry
on.
paid him.
Come on, Dre. Don't hold back.
Wow.
I don't listen, man. I don't want to. Me and Jermaine will be arguing. I'm telling you, man, this is bullshit money, monopoly money they give to these damn players. I don't care about what you. Well, what are you gonna do? You can't. You know, you got to pay him. I get that. But you're paying a guy that can't even freaking win the. I mean, okay, take it back. What's Kirk Cousins is getting paid? He ain't done nothing. So
I'm telling you,
that's why I named my $100 million quarterback rushers on my fantasy team name. You know, Dak. Okay, great.
Yeah, but I mean, I think that's a sign of the state of the NFL, and that's just a quarterback-driven league. And that when you have a quarterback that just, you know, that's why I was kind of going on. You know, I was going off on the text message a little bit about Jalen, but you know, you gotta look at what else you got out there, man. And I mean, Mahomes is kind of like on a level to himself, and everybody else is kind of in that same boat. So he's like, you want to trash and get rid of Jalen and stuff, but then who are you going to get to go in the spot?
Well, here's the thing. He's got in the last 17. His pass to interception ratio is 17-15. That's terrible. That doesn't even include the fumbles he had. Come on and stop, KD. 3 coordinators. Come on. You're an NFL player. You've been playing football your whole life.
No, man. No, KD's right. KD's right, man. If you could look, that's just like at work, Sal. You got 3 different bosses every year that you got to answer to. Now you got to adapt, and now you got to understand how they doing. You just can't say, "Oh, roll right now." Oh, I got a new manager. You know what I mean? And then another year later, 6 months later, I got a new manager. No, you can't. No,
I'm not buying it.
You got to.
That's exactly it.
You got to adapt, man. You got to adapt. You know what I mean?
I'm not buying
it. 3 coordinators,
and a lot of
the same thing can happen in college, right? Same thing happened in college.
And a lot of times, what happens when you have a new system? You start reverting back to some of the things that you've done in the past because you're still trying to figure out the new system, and I think you saw that a little bit in the game a little bit where it's like, okay, we just kind of making up a little bit. They haven't practiced. They practiced, but they haven't played any preseason whatsoever. I don't understand why they didn't do that. So it's like you got to work out a brand new offense.
Eliminate the preseason. I am so sick of. Why do you keep doing the preseason and nothing's happening? I mean, I understand that you got the rookies and you want to evaluate them, but I mean, as far as the starters, I mean, this whole week 1 is going to be sloppy. I mean, Patrick Mahomes was sloppy. If you think about it, he was sloppy. I mean, Lamar Jackson was sloppy. It's game 1. Nobody didn't play anything. You know what I mean? You got training camp. It's the only thing that you can settle on. I break my seasons down as 4 quarters. So you just give it the 4 weeks and see what happens. You could really evaluate, Sal, because you could actually compare it to last year. You know what I mean? So that's the way I look at it. So
I don't know. I'm not buying the excuses. I'm sorry, guys. I'm not doing it. I've seen it too many times with them. And here's the other thing that concerns me about Jalen. It's the leadership. All right. Nobody is listening to him. Do you think AJ Brown is listening to him? You've seen them interact. AJ Brown's not listening to Jalen. Do you think that, Smith, Devontae Smith, he was the captain. He's not listening to Jalen. You want to know why the Eagles won the Super Bowl? Because they rallied around Nick Foles more than they rallied around the, what was his name? Carson Wentz. That's why, it's leadership. He doesn't have that either. He doesn't have those intangibles. I'm not buying it. I guarantee you my prediction is by the end of the year, we're going to be stuck with this guy because Howie's not going to want to admit that he's wrong. And we're going to be stuck with this guy for a few years. And he's going to be Donovan McNabb part 2. And I'm not going through that again.
I was waiting for you to
not going through
that. That took how long did it take us get into the segment for him to blame Howie? I was like, dang, he ain't blaming Howie. He's blaming Jalen. So, I mean, how old is Jalen? How old is he?
I mean,
Jalen, I mean, the experience and everything, you still got to understand he's still a young guy. You know what I mean? You're placing the onus and everything and pressure. That's a lot of pressure.
It's been 4 years. 4 years.
But how old is he?
I don't care. He's played 4 years.
Okay.
Sal, what do you want to see him do better?
Like I said, I want to see a progression. I want to see the turnovers stop. That's number 1. I want to see him stop forcing ball. I just want to see a progression of getting better. I want to see a complete game. When is the last time he's played a complete game?
Before he got paid the $500 billion. Yeah. He seemed like he's one of those players. Once I got paid, I'm gonna show you what I can do. Oh, great, we'll pay you $500 million. Okay, great, got my money. Now I'm just gonna do whatever I want. I don't know, man. I don't know what his problem is.
It's just amazing. I understand. Yeah, you're right, Dre. I mean, I understand. Patrick Mahomes got paid, and he still be doing these stupid ass passes over his head and flicking it all over. I mean, that's not a true quarterback. I get him the respect because he's about to probably win his 3rd title and whatnot. But still, I mean. I look at that. He still had tendencies, and they almost pissed off Andy Reid when he did that around the back. You know what I mean? That pissed off. I mean, you can't.
I get it. I get it because I have a thing against Trevor Lawrence. I think he sucks. I think he was a bust, and all this high, he got up there, high draft pick and stuff, and he's horrible. He's horrible. So
how
many chances you gonna get Trevor Lawrence? To me, he should be out. Honestly, he can't perform.
Yeah, so, Trevor Lawrence. I agree.
I mentioned this in our thing about Jalen. Is Jalen a coachable quarterback, or does he have instinct and learn how to adjust? We have to see that. That's all I'm saying.
How do you know? How do you know? Is he coachable? I mean, Jesus, ever since he's been in the league or ever since he's been in college, he has an offensive coordinator every other year. You know what I mean? So how do you even adapt to stuff like that? That's why I say I go back to the manager. You know what I mean? At work. I mean, you just can't, just fit right in. You got to understand what he's doing. He's got to understand you. You know what I mean? It's got to be, it's got to gel and whatnot. It's going to take a minute. But I don't, I said, I'm okay. I mean, I know Sal has his it's going to be a long season. Sal, it's going to be a long season, especially if Jalen spotty. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, KD, I don't want perfection. KD's not listening. I don't want perfection, KD. That's not what I want. I want progression. And I agree with Hep. I think he's hit his ceiling. Is this really what Jalen is? I don't know. Probably.
And that's how I feel too. I mean,
yeah,
I'm on his side as well. Like that 2000, Super Bowl run we did, Jalen, where is he? That's all. I want him.
Well, he left when Shane Steichen left. I mean, one thing you
got coachable quarterback then.
He's great. I mean, last year you had, turmoil with Nick Sirianni and Brian Johnson, as you finding out. So there was no consistency. So now you're starting all over again, with Kellen Moore. So, we don't know if he's not coachable. You almost have to really, like you said, Jermaine, you really have to see this 4 or 6 weeks in the season and see if there's improvement with, his decision making. I still think you're going to have some interceptions, but, I think it's the nature of the league that we have a lot more passing. There's a lot more probability of those interceptions. But, if you just see it look like he's in control of the offense, he's able to start reading the defense, make the adjustments before the plays, things that he really couldn't do last season because of the way the offense was constructed. I think he'll be fine. I mean, you guys talk about him like he's not that good. I mean, I think he's really a good quarterback. I mean, I think he still may have a little bit of that Dak Prescott in him that, his ceiling is high and you want him to go higher, and he may not go higher than that, but I think it's high enough that you can win a championship with him, especially if you got Saquon Barkley, and especially if that defense can get better. I mean, it's a team sport, so I don't think the sky is falling with him. I don't.
I agree. I mean, that's the thing, like I said last year, to when it ended last year, I said, I'll give Howie, your boy Howie, Sal, and I'm giving Jalen this one more year. I figure you just let this squash, and they seem like they got the people in the right place. Let Sirianni be that puppet coach, the rah-rah coach, and let the coordinators do what they have to do. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, if this year is another flop like it was last year, I'm on board with you and Dre. I just I don't know what to do. You know what I mean? You done paid this man, and he done threw a flop and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? And Howie, screwed that up as far. If they regress this year, I mean, we got major problems. But I don't see that because, like I said, they put up 34 points and only punted once. And just like what Mike said, this is Jalen's not the one. Jalen's not a one-man team. I mean, it's a team effort. You know what I mean? So you look at this whole to put up 34 points and for them to drive the ball up and down and whatnot. I like it. And I think that, like I said, the cup is half full. It's not half empty.
Well, let Mike take Jalen then in San Francisco. He can have him. All right. Speaking of Jalen, let's talk about our Stacey Abrams, Jermaine. What is going on with Jalen Carter? What the heck? Where was the pass rush?
Mike, is it the 3-4 defense? I mean, look, man, it's in the secondary. I mean, I don't know, man. I was kind of because just like we was driving the ball, they was driving the ball down the field. I mean, people wide open, you know what I mean, and missed tackles, and you getting juked out of your shoes and all that. That's like, what is going on? And then no pressure. You only had one sack, no pressure. Mike, no pressure.
Yeah, it's a new defense, and I know that defense, Vic Fangio style defense, pressure.
Right.
Is manufactured different ways than what you're used to seeing. There's not a lot of blitzing and things like that. So you really do, require, coverage, and you require, your front 4 or your front 3 guys. Usually it's 3 guys on a linebacker to eventually get there. No, they're concerns. I mean, I thought the one bright spot was Zahn, the linebacker.
Well, Bond,
Bond. I
yeah,
mean, Zach Bond. Yeah,
yeah.
that was a good thing to see, because last year linebacker
Yeah.
was like your Achilles heel, and in that
You're
middle
right.
of the field was just killing you with tight ends
Yeah.
and slot receivers. So
Yeah.
to see that was a positive. But that secondary, I think, especially with CJ as safety back there in the corners,
CJ got juked.
like you said, you're gonna
oh
need that pressure to help those
Yeah.
corners. If you don't have the pressure there and you give guys time, like, to me, the biggest thing I saw was that Jordan Love, doesn't run. If he was a scrambling quarterback or had the ability to just be a little bit more mobile than what he was, it could have been a bad day. But because he's a little bit of a statue, you had some abilities to stop him, but it is going to be tougher against some of the more mobile quarterbacks until they can start generating some pressure.
Yeah. All right. Well, the Eagles defense. Dre, let's get you in here. Impressed? Like, we got some new. I don't know. I just feel like it's the same old again with this defense, but I don't know.
It's game one. Rusty probably, a lot of no preseason.
But Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter, come on.
Jordan did show up when the first I saw that plug the middle, and I was like, there we go.
That was one.
That was one. But
the defense held, like you said, Dre. You're right.
They held
6 points. You know what I mean? 2 field goals.
Yeah, but Maddox though in the secondary, like he's about to be the new burnt toast. but I think it's too early. I just think we'll see how it plays. I mean, we are playing.
I hope so.
We're playing a weak divisions coming up. Weak, teams: Falcons, Saints, Bucks. We'll see how the Eagles defense.
I hope you're right, Dre, because what I saw, they was just getting shellacked. You know what I mean? Especially in that second year, and you're not getting any pressure. I hope you're right with that. You know what I mean? With that defense, what I saw, that was wild.
Yeah.
I mean, people were wide open, and then the yards after the catch, like, Jesus, Jalen Reed, he still could have been running. You know what I mean? It's like, come on.
Yeah, he could be still running.
Yeah.
I thought they did good stopping the run. I thought Josh Jacobs, who looked kind of like not the same Josh Jacobs, but still, I thought they were. I thought it was pretty impressive that they were able to hold him in check. I mean, the fourth quarter he got a little bit loose, but for the most part, they held it down on the run defense. It really is just the pass attack, and I think the Packers kind of, wanted to take advantage of that, because I kept complaining. I was like, man, they're not running the ball. They're going to lose. You can't just keep passing all the time. Mistakes are going to happen. You keep passing. Eventually, Jordan Love did throw an interception. So, I don't know. They got to improve the secondary. That's my thing with the Eagles defense. I think the secondary has to get better, with a pass rush has to, put more pressure on quarterbacks. Otherwise, you're going to see shootouts, and you're going to have to score more than them basically all the time.
I really do like Reed Blankenship. I mean, but he's just not a starting safety to me. He would be one of the best backup safeties in the league, but to me, he just doesn't. I don't know. They need to do something about that. I'm still not convinced. I know he had the pick and everything like that, and that was a great play, but I don't know. I'm concerned about Blankenship a little bit. And Hef, it was one of the things. Yeah, did I see Jalen Reed? Yeah, I did. He was on my bench, and I saw him running on the field as he was sitting on my fantasy bench. So, for those who don't know, I'm playing Hef this week in fantasy football, and I had Reed, and he's sitting on my bench with 39 points. It was great. I have CJ Stroud going today, so I'm hoping. Yeah, Spinal. That's right. My team. Yeah, my team name is Spinal. I'll break your back. Yeah, that's right.
Real quick,
sitting him on the bench.
Real quick, can we go over, because Mike's gonna laugh at me? Lamar Jackson versus Kansas City.
We were gonna go to that. Go ahead.
I did not like. That's what I'm gonna say. I did not like what I saw with him. He's still, to me, Mike, showing inconsistencies in the air. Yes, brilliant rushing. We know that, and all that stuff, but he still can't connect, I think, to the receivers when he needs to. And, that turnovers that he had and stuff against Kansas City, I don't know, man. I just don't think now, I'm like, from when we had our preseason podcast, I don't know, man. I'm really concerned with Baltimore. I don't know if the Bengals can do something. Then I think Bengals might take that division. I'm just not feeling Lamar, Mike. I'm just not.
Oh yeah, you almost kind of feel like you talk like Lamar, like you talk about Hurts in a way.
Yeah, I was
ceiling
disappointed.
That's been hit. Lamar makes some great plays. I mean, he is a playmaker, but he has his tendencies. I still think the play calling is not doing him any favors. Derrick Henry had 13 carries in the game, and 8 of those came in the first half. It's like, how do you abandon the run? You paid this guy. I mean, he was trucking people, and then you just get away from it. And I don't understand that.
Yeah.
So I think the play calling, almost similar to Hurts, I think, to a degree. I think you have to play to the strengths of your players, and sometimes I think the guys just want to say, "Oh, you're a quarterback and you pay all this money, you need to throw the ball all the time because you got to just beat Mahomes." It's like, no, call the plays that work for your players, and I don't think they did that. I think on that last drive, the thing that kind of got me with Lamar was just the other stuff, like the time management. Like, he had a long play where they got the ball down the field, and I swear it was about 45 seconds. I mean, it seemed like it was 45 seconds that ran off the clock before they finally got the next play in. And then there was a play after that where Lamar's sitting there, and then he's running around, and it's like, okay, you're being a playmaker, you're scrambling, but time is ticking. If someone's open right away, throw the ball away. So you have more opportunities, but it just seemed like that game management side of things wasn't there, and that was a big disappointment with him towards the end of that game. I mean, it was too bad. Likely didn't get his foot down, but
that
kind of shouldn't have came to that.
His toe,
yeah,
not the foot.
But then
toe.
He could have shaved that toenail. That's why what had happened. He should have.
They asked him about it. And he just said, "I still think it's a touchdown."
You know what, man? I mean, that was impressive because he got hurt the 2 plays before. Remember, he had to sit out 1 play, and he was trying to go for that one. Then he came right back in and caught it. I think they got a tight end. Was it tight end? Was he tight? Yeah, is he tight end? Right?
Isaiah,
tight end. Him and Mark Andrews. I don't know, man. They might be, but again, back to Jalen. I mean, I'm sorry, not Jalen, but back to Lamar. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, the big concern was that Lamar had like over 100 yards rushing, and then when I watched that game, I saw him actually taking shots. Like, it wasn't just running out of bounds. It was like, oh, I'm going to run into the middle of the field and take a hit, and he cannot do that. They got to figure out how to take the load off of him and use Derrick Henry or whoever, and not have him be the leading rusher on the team. That will be a recipe for disaster by week 6.
You're absorbing those hits. You know what I mean? And you don't trim down and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? So now what's going to happen now when you absorb those hits? You coming around the middle and that linebacker coming up and sticking you. You know what I mean? So how is he going to, how's he going to actually overcome that? But I mean, I kind of paid attention to what Dre's saying, because he's not really on board with Lamar to a point. You know what I'm saying? And like you said, and Mike, I agree, Mike. I mean, you just can't. Why did you bring Derrick Henry? You still running him? That's just like with Jalen. I said, abandon the tush push and give it to Saquon. What are y'all doing?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You had a fumble in that tush push. I mean, come on, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. I saw that fumble.
You guys saw me texting that. I was like, give it to Saquon at the end when they were down there. At the end, I was just like,
up here pushing
what are you doing?
Like, oh my. You know what? And I believe that's an override. I think that's an override of Nick Sirianni. Nick Sirianni wants to have the same because that's his play. He's like, no, Kalen, no, we're gonna do this twitch push. If they keep doing that, I feel as though it's gonna bite him in the ass. That's all. Jalen gonna get hurt. Watch. Yeah,
it's gonna bite him in the tushy. This is funny. Lot going back and forth with Hef. So is Hef officially a hater now? That's so funny. I hate the Ravens. Talk about KD. Don't want Baltimore in the playoffs. Tall and the clown.
I do agree with Hef though about the whole moral victory stuff that the Ravens were talking like, oh yeah, we had them, but it's like, look, man, you guys are like 4-1 or 5-1, but where the Chiefs have owned the Ravens. I mean, there is no, we almost had them. I mean, look, you guys can't beat them, and you just got to shut up and do it. And until you do it, stop talking. That game, they they should have won. You know, like you said, Lamar had Flowers wide open.
Yeah.
You know, in that one play, and it's like, how do you miss that guy? You know, and it's like, is it miscommunication, or you just couldn't throw the ball right? But you know, that is the difference between Kansas City and Baltimore. Kansas City always finds a way to make the play to win the game. You know, it's like I always keep complaining about Chris Jones, and that Nick Bosa was the highest paid guy. It's like Chris Jones is always the guy that makes the play when you need it. You know, when he had to fumble Lamar in the game, I was like, God, that guy is always making plays, and that's how the Chiefs are. You know, you hate them, but when you need to win the game, no matter, even if it's ugly, it's one or two or three plays that the Chiefs do that the other teams don't do, and that's the difference maker.
Yeah, last I checked, you play to win the game. That was the last time I checked. Isn't that what he said?
Yeah, Kansas City, man. They used Kelsey as a decoy, and Baltimore fell for it. They kept going to the other guy. Rice had a big game.
Worthy. Oh my God.
Worthy.
There
you go.
You get
because what happened? Smith Schuster, whatever his name is, he dropped the ball. I'm like, here we go.
When you get Brown is iron. Hollywood Brown is iron for comeback in week 2. I mean, Jesus, that's another speedster. I mean, you get that, and then you got Kelsey. I mean, Jesus.
It's going to be nasty offense.
That's a nasty offense.
I think they're using Taylor Swift as a decoy out there. But
Taylor Swift is starting to call plays. Did you hear that? I said, you know what? This might be a down season for your boy Travis Kelce.
Well, he was on the tour, right? They showed him on the tour. And I was like, okay, just getting all in his head. Ain't something
it's all in
you're gonna block and you're gonna be a decoy, okay?
So you get it right.
Yeah, I would like to see with the Chiefs, though. Just curious how their defense does. I mean, I think the Ravens played right into their defense's hands, but they are good, especially with Chris Jones. But I'm curious to see if that defense takes a little bit of a step back this year without L'Jarius Sneed, that shutdown corner. I thought the Ravens had opportunities to expose them; they just didn't do it. But I think some more competent. I won't say more competent, but just more prolific offenses might have a little bit of a say when it comes to the Chiefs, that they could be shootouts with them.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, let's go to some prediction. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Jermaine.
Yeah, youngest defense in the league. Average is 24 years old.
Yeah.
So, youngest. Sheesh. I mean, if they have another decent season, this might be the dominant defense in the league for the next few years. So. And you still got Spagnuolo. So,
Yep. Consistency. That's the thing. Coaching consistency makes a difference.
I got
organizational consistency.
Yeah. And I got
coordinator. Go ahead, Jay.
No, I was just saying I got, when we did our award stuff, I got, Jones is one of the best defensive players this year. So we'll see.
Yeah.
He got paid. Didn't he get paid in the offseason?
He got paid. He got paid last year.
Oh, last year? Oh,
yeah. He was holding out.
That's right. You're right. He was holding out. That's
worth every dollar. I don't care. Worth every dollar. That guy just always comes through to play.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, let's do some predictions, guys. Dre, you want to do the pick 'em, or you just want me to call out a couple games here?
Just call out a couple games.
Yep.
All right, let's do it. We got the Commanders at the Buccaneers, guys. So let's go around the horn here. We'll start with my man in San Fran. What do you got?
Hef's not going to like to hear this, but I'm going to pick the Bucs. And the reason I'm picking the Bucs is because as much as Jayden Daniels, I think, is a talent, he's still a rookie. He's been on bubble wrap this whole preseason. He hasn't played. And so you're going up against Todd Bowles, which I know we talk about Todd Bowles. One thing Todd Bowles does well is really, demoralize rookie quarterbacks. I got a feeling they're going to go off on Jay Daniels. It's going to just be a rookie kind of day for him, and they'll get the win. They're playing in Tampa Bay also, so I just think the Bucs got it this time.
All right, Jermaine, who you got?
I mean, like I said, and I said it last year, Washington is still another year or two out. You know what I mean? They'll win a few games this season. I think it's just all about gelling and growth and all that stuff with that team. So yeah, I got the Bucs.
All right, Dre.
I'm the opposite. I'm taking Washington. I think Washington is really stoked for this opener game. I'm not buying into Baker. I'm not buying a Todd Bowles when he kind of does this with his face all the time. He's like the same expression and stuff. Tampa, I really think Washington is going to really. I think Washington is going to beat their pants off. Honestly, they're on the road and they're gonna do it. I'm with Commanders all the way.
Wow,
man. All right. Well, this was a tough one, but I think if the game were in Washington, it might be a little different. So I have to go with the Bucks. I think it's going to be very close. But I still think Washington just needs a little more time to gel. They got a lot of turnover on that team, especially on the offensive side of the ball. So I hope they win because I don't want to see the Bucks win, but at the same time, I think they're going to pull it out somehow. All right. The next one, guys, we got to talk about the towel. Cowboys at the towel.
Jesus.
All right, Mike, who you got?
This is a tough one. I guess, man, I got to go with the Cowgirls.
All right.
They got their newly minted quarterback, and CeeDee Lamb, of course, got paid too. So I think both are going to have something that they want to prove. And I just think the towel is just, but I don't know how to describe the towel, but I just think that team's not going anywhere with the towel. Even with new coordinators, and I know that they got the coordinator who was the coordinator from Buffalo last year, Ken Dorsey, and so they're hoping that is what corrects him and gets him back to his early good Houston days, but not yet. No, it's Dallas.
All right, Jermaine, you going with your Dallas D? Parsons going to bail him out?
No, I don't see Dallas. I mean, you bringing all these people back. I mean, CeeDee Lamb. I mean, he's got it. It's going to take him about 3 or 4 weeks to get into shape. I mean, this is his first 4 weeks. I believe is going to be his preseason. So, I got Cleveland.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, I got. I mean, what running game do they have?
Dallas.
Both teams really.
They got Zeke Elliott, man.
Zeke Elliott. Come on, man.
Zeke is listening.
Then they got old head Dalvin Cook,
starting running back.
Yeah. Then they got old head Dalvin Cook. Come on. I mean, come on, y'all. This it's still a complete mess. Although Dak is the highest paid now and whatnot. I mean, they're still a mess. I mean, now Micah. Yeah, Micah is going to have a down. Huh?
The Browns still don't have Chubb back, though. I mean, I think I think
Jerome Ford can hold it down. I'd say Jerome Ford can hold it down for a little bit. I just like Cleveland's defense this year. I really do.
Yeah.
No, I really do.
They were good last year.
Yeah. So, but then is the Towel playing today? Is he playing?
He's supposed to.
Yeah.
If not, it's going to be James Winston coming in.
Oh God.
James throw some touchdowns. Throw some interceptions
Junior. Yeah. So I got Cleveland in this game. I mean,
Mike,
it's gonna be tight.
I agree with you, Jermaine. And Mike, I'm surprised though, because you're a defensive-minded guy, man. Myles Garrett, come on, man. Dak is going to be raining. He's going to be running all day.
Wow.
And I really think, what's the name is back though? Diggs is back on, the other side, the corner for Dallas. So that's going to be interesting. But I think Cleveland's defense is going to overpower the Cowboys' defense, I think. And the offensive mistakes by Dak, your new highest paid quarterback or whatever, and I think Dallas. I think Dallas is going to lose this one. And I think Myles Garrett is going to – I'm going to make a bold prediction. Myles Garrett is going to have 2 sacks and a fumble recovery.
All right.
Maybe even interception too.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys can see. You probably can't see this.
Yeah,
you're straight. I mean, you got 2 sacks and a fumble and an interception. I mean, why don't you just get the fumble and let him run for a touchdown?
Okay, I'll do that.
I mean, do that.
Because Myles Garrett can do it. I'm telling you.
Mike, what were you trying to show us there, bud?
No, go ahead, Sal. I'll find it. I'll show it.
Okay. Now, you're my boy, but Jalen Daniels isn't getting the respect he deserves yet. He's got to play first. We don't know what he's going to do yet. I love you, brother, but we got to let the boy play first. The Browns
I don't know about
that's
that.
reality.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
All right. So this is a tough one, but I never liked Cleveland. I just don't think that team can ever put it together. I don't trust Watson. Myles Garrett, okay, he's probably going to have a decent game. You're right, Dre. I agree. But I just don't know that's going to be enough over the Cowboys. And I think you said it really well, Dre, too. That cornerback coming back is going to be huge for them because last year they really missed that. So Diggs coming back. Yeah, so I agree. So I think it's going to be the Cowboys. It might not be by a lot, but I think it's going to be the Cowboys. And I hope it's not the Cowboys, but I have a funny feeling it might wind up being. All right, let's get to it, guys.
I don't know if you can see it.
Sorry, Mike. Go ahead, buddy. What do you got?
You might have to zoom in on it, but I'll share my screen. It's the Cowboys cycle, and I've seen this GIF and it's so true. So look, season starts, beat up on bad teams, get delusional, win boys, and then they choke. So starting out, they're going to beat the Browns because that's what the Cowboys always do. They start out beating up on teams, and then it falls apart. So I'm picking them to win.
Wow.
It happens every year. It's the cycle.
That is true, Mike. But now since Dak got paid, it's counterclockwise. So,
yeah.
So the fans are already delusional, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right, let's go to Monday night. We got a 40-year-old quarterback ready to come into you, Mike, and take it to you. Aaron Rodgers. Here we go. He's coming in. He wants to do it.
I'm picking the Niners. I'm a little nervous about it because I think the Jets defense is going to be tough, and Brock, I think will have some struggles, but I think they'll find a way to win, especially being at home to open the season. But I'm not expecting the blowout of any sorts, but I think they'll win.
All right, Jermaine, who you got?
Yeah, that's the only reason I'm picking San Fran because they're home. You know what I mean? I think it's going to be a good game. It's going to be a good game. Way to close out the week one and everything. But yeah, I got San Fran. And like I said, the only reason is that they're home. But the one thing I got, Mike, how you feel about number 27, Jair Brown? Because the only reason I'm asking that, my brother-in-law is over here, sitting out here. That's his cousin. The number.
I like Brown. Yeah. Brown came in for Hufanga last year, and I thought he did a very good job as a rookie. So I'm trying to figure out what they're going to do because Hufanga is back. So I'm not sure what they're doing with Brown, if he's going to be reserved or if they're going to move him over to play the other safety position. Because
he took over Hufanga when he got hurt. Okay.
Yep. Yeah.
He
did a good job. He did a real good job.
Damn. Hef's calling you out, Mike. He's saying almost like San Fran cycle. Woo!
Oh my goodness.
Hef is calling you out, Mike.
Yeah. Whatever. Yeah. They haven't smelt the championship game in 20 years. So at least they get somewhere.
Wow.
That's 20 is more than 20, right? I think I was 8 years old when they last won.
I mean, geez.
Jermaine, who you got on Monday night, brother?
I got San Fran. Yeah,
San Fran.
Because the only reason that they're home. Yeah, if it was in New York, I probably would have went with New York. You know what I mean? But San Fran's home. I think this is going to be for the whole season as a whole. Can Brock Purdy hold his own again, like he did, like he's been doing the last couple of years? I think this, is it going to be another, a breakout, a better season than he had last season? I don't know. And then with the running back, CMC, I mean, you can't overload him. What? He did have a tag on questionable today. I know he's going to play, but
he's got
already beat up.
Achilles injury.
Really?
Yeah, he's already banged up. But it's funny you say that, Joe, about Purdy, because I'm thinking about Sal's word progression, and I do even though Brock played well, I do want to see some things get even better. You've had a full off season to study Shanahan's offense, and what new wrinkles am I going to see now that he's actually had a chance to really from the beginning go through it all. So we'll see.
Right. Yeah.
All right. That's up to you, Dre.
Well, Aaron Rodgers is going to say, I broke my back.
Oh, Jesus.
I don't see Jets winning this game against the 49ers. 49ers are home. All that offseason stuff and everything, I think the 49ers are going to put it together on the field. CMC is going to keep doing his thing. Ayuk, all those guys. And I think Brock Purdy is going to have a pretty good game, I think. I mean, Sauce Gardner, right? He's still in the Jets, right?
Yep.
We'll see how that matchup goes up with him. Debo might be the X factor. Kittle. I like to see more from Kittle. I didn't see really much from Kittle.
Yeah, that's a good one, Dre. Yeah, that's a good one, Kittle, boy.
And the Jets, man, are still, you know, he tore his Achilles. He might tear it again. I don't know, man. It's just I don't see the Jets beating the 49ers at home.
Well, I think the one thing, you guys are definitely on the right track, but I think the one thing we got to talk about, the Jets have a really good running back, and what's going to be the Dre Greenlaw effect, because the run defense, Mike, for the 49ers has been a problem, right? So, and now you got Greenlaw out, and Breece Hall is no joke. So will the Jets be able to run the ball and control the clock? I think that's going to be a big question mark in that game. I do think that San Fran is going to take it. But if the Jets can control the ball, it's going to be interesting. If Breece Hall can do what he does, I think they might be able to pull it out and make it interesting. But it isn't San Fran. How much is that Dre Greenlaw effect going to really kind of affect this team?
I forgot about Greenlaw being out. Wow. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
When did they say he's coming back? What, he's on the PUP, right?
He's on PUP, so he's at least 6 weeks, I think. I think that was 6 weeks instead of 8 weeks before he can come out. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So and then again, you're still on that kind of injury. You're still not 100%. You know, it's still going to be slow coming out.
Got to be a year.
So it's going to take a while.
Yeah.
And the answer, KD's, I'm going back to what he says. Like, we act like, look, I was on Jets defense last year. You remember that, man? But they disappointed me last year.
Yeah.
And I don't see confidence this time against the 49ers, because 49ers are really going to try to, you know,
they're saying it for years with the Jets. You just kind of like show me, you know,
show me, right?
Hearing it. Now it's like, all right, look, no excuses, right?
No
excuses, right?
All this, what's going on? So I hope the Jets beat them up.
A lot of comments coming in. Yeah, KD, we actually agreed for the first time, him and I. So yeah.
Well, let's put that up there.
Yeah, right. So
thank you, Sal. First time agreeing with Sal. It's a miracle.
Yeah, and Hef says, I don't believe in the Jets or the Cowboys or the Ravens. They go, he's a hater. All right. He's still all right. You all act like the Jets don't have a good D. Yeah, but we'll see. The Jets do have a good D. They have the cornerbacks that could slow him down. Debo is going to be a factor, but I think it's going to be all that. It's going to be control of the clock. If San Francisco's defense can't stop the run and they keep that offense off the field, it's going to be interesting.
It's all about pressure. I know the Jets do have a good D, but they got to get pressure on Purdy. You know what I mean?
They do.
The third down, you got to get pressure. You got to rattle him. And if he's just sitting there and he's got a clean pocket, that's a problem. You know what I mean?
And don't forget, the Jets really upgraded their offensive line in the offseason. They got some players. So they knew they had to protect Rodgers. So they did get some players today. All right. Last thing I want to talk about, guys, and then we'll wrap this up. I have to. Tom Brady has his first play call game today, gentlemen. What do you think? Is something you're happy about, not happy about? You looking forward to it? What do you think here? Brady getting in the booth for the first time.
What game is he calling?
That's a good question. I saw it on the other day.
I thought it was the Raiders.
It might be. I'm trying to remember what game it is, but I know that I should have asked my friend who's actually.
Oh, you know what? That makes sense, Mike, because they're playing the Chargers, and guess who was the Michigan's coach, right? He's a Wolverine, so that makes sense that he can play call and talk about.
He's calling Dakota.
He's
doing the Browns game.
Yeah, he could do. I don't think he could do the Raiders game because he's got part ownership with that team.
Right.
You know what I mean? I was reading about that. Yeah, I don't think he could do any games like that because that'd be a conflict of interest, I believe. So.
Yeah,
they crown him like he is Tom Brady. Rodgers, the most overrated quarterback.
Well, we'll see what happens. I mean, he hasn't played in almost 2 years, so let's see how he comes.
But back to the commentating, I saw a little snip of him. I forgot which game it was, and it seemed okay. I actually liked him when he's on NFL radio with his podcast and listening to it. His analyzing stuff and everything. I think it'd be pretty decent. I don't know if it's worth all the money he's getting paid, but it is Tom Brady. It's the GOAT, but we'll see. I hope it's not dry, you know what I mean? Kind of, but we'll see.
Yeah. Well, it's his first one. So obviously, he's getting paid a lot of money. And then your boy Bill Belichick supposedly is next, unless he finds a head coaching job somewhere next year. We'll see.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it'd be interesting with Brady to see if he's sort of like Romo, especially with analyze. Like, the guys when they get in the booth, they're always more critical of the position that they played themselves. So, I'm curious to see like Tom Brady if he's going to sit up there and maybe talk about Dak. Like, yeah, Dak, I've seen him do this play, blah blah blah. He's going to throw it here, or he's about to throw an interception there, or how critical he's going to be of the quarterbacks.
Real quick, did you guys like Tony Romo when he first came out as a commentator?
He was all right.
Because a quarterback,
Yeah, I like
Tony Romo.
Oh yeah, when he first came out, but now it just seems like he's losing his luster. I mean, I don't I don't really care. Look, these commentators and everything. I'm so used to Madden and what's his name, Summerall.
Yeah,
that was your best. That was your best. Yeah, that was your best duo right there. You're not gonna get to that. Yeah, you're not gonna get to that, especially Madden with his color, coordination, by play and all that stuff. I mean, he just broke it down. So, well, I'm not looking forward to it. Just looking to some good, clean games today. That's all.
The ones that cracked me up was Ripken. It was those three old guys. It was the quarterback and two other guys. They were funny, man. Because once told him he was.
Man, Sunday night football. Those three hidden monsters. They was always arguing.
They were hilarious.
They were hilarious.
One time, you're talking about the wrong team.
Yeah.
What's the name?
What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Man, what was that trio? Yeah, I mean,
the quarterback for Washington that got his leg, broken.
Theismann.
Theismann.
Bill Theismann and the other two old timers. They were hilarious, man.
Yeah,
they cracked me up.
Brain is fried, son.
Yeah,
what are you
that was last week.
Yeah. I used to love Madden with the Thanksgiving turkey, man. That was the best. When he used to
turducken, the big turducken, right?
Yeah.
One quick thing before we go, because I was looking at interesting game to me. There's two of them. One, the Steelers is what's the name starting?
Is Wilson starting?
Fields.
I don't know. I think Fields might be a guy. It sound like it.
I don't know if he's
game time decision. They said
game time decision. So if Russell Wilson comes in, they are playing the Falcons at home. Do we think we're going to see a good Russell Wilson or the same one from Denver?
Same one, unless Howie decides to give up 3 draft picks for him, like Jermaine wanted.
All right.
I think you'll see the same Russell, but I think you'll see the second year Russell, not the first year Russell. Like the second year Russell was definitely better than the first year Russell in Denver. So, look, Pittsburgh's the offense last year was like 18th century. I mean, with Kenny Pickett and the play calling they had, it was terrible. So anything right now is an improvement. The big problem for them is it's going to be, can they survive turnovers? Because that's the one thing they can't. They don't have an offense that can keep up with somebody. So if they get down early, they're not coming back.
And the last one, if I turn it back to Sal, Chargers. Harbaugh, he's back in the NFL. I ask you first, Mike, because he coached your San Francisco team. What about Harbaugh playing against the Raiders?
I told Kai, I said, man, I'm sorry. I think y'all going to lose to the Raiders. He said, I'm crazy.
Wow.
And I think Harbaugh is just not going to have – it's not him. I think it's just the team. I just think that, talent-wise, they had no receivers other than Ladd McConkey, who we don't know about because he's a rookie. He's just predicted to do very well. But, it's a new offense. It's Greg Roman's offense. Greg Roman's not necessarily a big passing attack kind of coordinator. He likes running the ball. So I just think it's, Harbaugh, even in San Francisco, we had a lot of close games. Like, like the Eagles were last year where you were winning by 3 points. And you're like, yeah, we won ugly. It was always winning ugly until Kaepernick got in. And then all of a sudden the offense exploded. And I just got a feel on that with the Chargers. It's going to be the same kind of slow pounding methodical offense that you're going to feel like, dang, man, if one thing goes wrong and we get behind, we're not coming back. And I just got a feeling the Raiders are going to have enough, especially on their defense with Max Crosby, just to make enough to win.
Wow. So Minshew's going to have an MVP game.
Wow, man.
Just enough to win. Just enough to win. That's what I think.
I think the Chargers. This is definitely an evaluation season. I don't think Harbaugh is expecting a lot this season. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, all right, we got Harbaugh. We're going deep in. No, I think it's evaluation, and then it's going to take time to where he wants to put his parts and his players together, the players that he like and everything. So yeah, I think definitely this season is a evaluation season, trying to get a pick, a high pick, and whatnot, and go from there. So.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, you got to put the system in place. You got to put the whole overall the persona in place for the team and all that stuff. That stuff takes time. I mean, you got to have a system and establish what your identity is, and that's going to take some time for them. But Hef, we appreciate it, man. Great show as always. He says best sports show, and he also says Romo's lame on the field and in the booth. That was funny. What do you got there, Dre? You got some fantasy football coming?
Yeah, so we decided this year to do fantasy football with this season, and we did it with these awesome guys from ADU as well, KD and Hef, and we did a little league, like you said at the beginning of the show. So here we go, just showing you the predictions right now, where I'm the $100 million quarterback rushers versus iBoogers, which is KD. And it's going to be a pretty close game. And then we got Jermaine's matchless team against the Blind Cats picking bot team, which is Mike. So right now, Mike's got look like they're going to favor him to win. So we'll see. And then Spinal, I broke your back style versus give it to my man Ace Boogie. So which is KD. So this is going to be interesting, guy. Every Sunday we're going to put this up and show and brag about it. So it's a good start.
None of my guys have even played yet. They all play today or tomorrow night. So hopefully it'll be up to a good start.
Saquon's making my team look good.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
Touchdowns goes a long way.
Well, I shouldn't say that. One of my guys played. He was on the bench. So we all knew who that was. Although it'll be interesting to see how long Jordan Love is out. They're saying 6 weeks, maybe.
I heard 3 to 4.
4 to 6.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
He lucked out because I was looking at it and the way Jalen's going. Did you see that? I said he's done.
Yep.
And thank God he dodged the bullet. He dodged the bullet. I was like, wow,
he did.
He dodged the bullet.
Yeah.
And remember, guys, I got Green Bay going all the way.
Yep, I thought about that.
I said, "No, Jordan, what are you doing? No, Jordan."
Yeah. The thing is, Malik Willis is just, I saw that last play and he got sacked on the last play of the game. I said, "What are you doing, man? Throw the ball somewhere." That was just terrible.
You're right.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're gonna do. Well, Love is out.
In that game, that low hit on the going out of bounds, that was pretty bad too. So
17 penalties in that game.
Whew. Well, somebody said in the chat that we had Tannehill is still available.
Yeah, he is.
Right.
I said that. You got Trevor Siemian, Tannehill, the usual guys that you always see come in. Nate Sudfeld.
Man. Yeah, Nick Foles is available. No,
Colin Kaepernick is
God.
Oh,
yeah. God. I said Cam Newton to my wife. My wife's like, he's up there smoking cigars and drinking. He's not coming back.
Man. All right, everybody, as always, thank you always for checking out our show. We are on every Sunday morning at 11 o'clock. Again, it's Enough Said Crew. If you'd like us, check us out on all the major social media networks, whether it is YouTube, X, Instagram, all those fun ones. Or you can email us at enoughsaidcrew, as Dre put up, at gmail.com. We appreciate, check out if you have time, every first and third Sunday, 9 o'clock at night, All Dressed Up podcast. Great guys, great show. Really have some good stuff going on.
Yeah, I think they're gonna be on tonight.
Yes,
for the first.
Awesome.
Yeah, they should be on tonight.
ADU on tonight.
Yep. So thank you, everybody. We will see you next week, same time, and we'll be talking some more Eagles and, of course, all the teams.